Hey y'all, happy Saturday. We're gonna change locations of my little podcast. Well, not change, right? Sometimes y'all gonna get car action versus in my little podcast area. So I'm just gonna rant into it real quick. So save it for Saturday. Okay. It has been a heck of a week for me. So the topic of the day is disappointment. How y'all recover from disappointment? When I say it's been a week, I've had so many moments of disappointment in so many different areas of my life. And then I am a person who takes time to sit back and evaluate how things happen, why it happened, and how I react. And if I feel like once I evaluate it, I react in the best way, I kind of use it as a learning tool, right? How to kind of move forward. So my snapback game, right? My recovery from disappointment probably isn't the way most people's on, or because I won't say I hold a grudge, depending on what it is. I'm learning that in order to make it in the pearly gates, I can't be holding grudges. So I have a tendency to push things to the side, or like I say, for most things, I go to the gym, and I go to the gym, or I put foot to pavement, meaning go for a jog or a walk, to decompress whatever level of stress this disappointment may cause. In order not to spaz out on people, I go to the gym. So like disappointment, and this could be like at work. So say it's performance time because it's around that time for me at both jobs. If you think you've been a solid person and solid worker all this time, and then you get in this meeting and then you hear, oh, you were mediocre, or you could have did better, and your rating isn't where you thought it was, so you may get a raise, may not get a raise, or it's less than what you expected. How you deal with it? Like, how do you recover, right? Like, so tomorrow when you go on to work, do you act the same? Do you act better? Are you quiet? Are you more talkative? Did you decide that you're going to show up better than you were because you thought you were doing great, but then you realize you're not, so now you got to step it up a notch? Or do you hibernate or sulk in it? I've had some experiences with that at a previous job where I thought I was doing cool, right? It was a new position, and then when it was time to do my evaluation for my raise, because it was like a probationary period where you're gonna make more once you get past these 90 days. And so because it was a new position, they didn't have like expectations set in stone. So I went through and, maneuvering the way I think I should. They were heavy on, hey, this is not HR, this is not HR, this is more ER work, which obviously I was doing HR work. Cool. So when they told me like, hey, the position isn't working out in the way that we thought it would, so we're gonna put you on a PIP, which is a performance improvement plan. In all my years, I was like, what the hell? And so I got quiet, right? And so I was like, okay, what is it that you need me to do differently? But they didn't really have specifics. So for me, that was a few years ago. Shoot, more than a few, right? Maybe 7. I'm gonna just give you a number of 7, maybe. No, I had Mellow. So maybe 6 years ago. And so then for me, I just got quiet because that's how I cope with a lot of things. And then automatically I started looking for another job. Because I'm like, I know ain't no way. You ain't got no real expectations, which we talked about it, because the expectations that you gave, I've met. But I also hate when people move the goalposts. And we'll talk about that in another session. So I was like, I can't let these people play with my money. I got kids to feed and bills to pay, right? So I went ahead and found another job. When I gave them my 2 weeks notice, they was like, oh my God, why would you be leaving? We were just about to give you your raise and just about to take you off the plan. And I was like, yeah, we not aligned. Okay, like we not aligned, because I felt like I met the needs of the company. Then you move the goalposts, and now when I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm straight, now y'all want to say, oh, I'm doing great, nah, I'm a hard pass. And so I've spoken to someone this week where I felt like that happened to them, And I was like, this is where I need to still learn and grow. Because how you let somebody tell you you're not doing a good job when you know you go over and beyond, and you still got to interact with them on a regular basis? How do you, what's the mature way to deal with it to rise above the accusations or them not knowing what the hell they want, and you doing more than the average, but still is not good enough? But you still got to show up with a smile and still be professional. I can be professional, I can be cordial, but the little hee hee ha ha is where I haven't grown yet, because I ain't doing it. Next, in relationships, or yeah, we can say relationships, that could be romantic or friendships or family, when you thought it was one thing and find out that it's something else, what you do? Right? You may have had a cousin, you thought y'all was cool, and then y'all wasn't. And then and when I say y'all wasn't, it'll be more like you thought they would keep a family secret, or you thought they would keep a family secret, but then you talked to another cousin and you know that you only told one, and then you found out they said something. That could be disappointing depending on what it is, right? So how do you move on from that, right? Do you now move on and say, I just ain't gonna tell that cousin nothing, or you tell them less, or you only tell them what you don't mind everybody else knowing? Like, do you talk to them about the disappointment? Like, how you move from that? For me, I know the girl got some toxic traits, because what has worked for me over the years, I just disengage, right? I remove myself from a lot of stuff. Like, you know, babe, before I let you disturb my peace, right? And I know people say about their peace all the time, but I promise you I don't play by mine, because I let people play by mine for a long time. So over the recent years, I want to say the last 5, my peace has been A1 in my book. Like, it's super important to me, because I've lost so much letting other people play with my time and my energy. And when I can solidly say I know I'm solid, like I know I'm loyal, I know I care, and I show up for people how I want them to show up for me, even when they don't, I'm good. So how y'all handle that, right? Because this is what I do. Relationships, situationships, hell, whatever ship. If I feel like I was disappointed, and my expectations are usually laid out, I tell people what I expect from them as a girlfriend, wife, friend, my children, at companies, just in anything I'm in. I kind of set the stage of what I expect. If I expect to get paid, how much, right? Like, what I need out of anything, so that we're clear. I laid the ground rules, right? So when if somebody co-signed the very thing that I said I need, and then they come up short, things happen. I get that. But I'm talking about, like, just completely out of there. Just completely not what it's supposed to be. And you're depending on people to show up a certain way or do a thing, and they don't. Me, Tamika, Tam. All right, then. You know how people kill you with the okay. I used to be like, be blessed, but you know, I don't want to put be blessed and being sarcastic, so I still do it, not as much. And that's just kind of like, okay, bet. Say less. I can show you better than I can tell you. Because removing myself and my energy is a big deal if you've experienced me in any capacity, right? So, not to toot my own horn, I'm not cocky, but I'm confident in who I am. If somebody disappoints me, I give people grace. If situations disappoint me, I give them grace, but we ain't gonna keep running it. We not, because as adults, if it's something in that nature, we got to be accountable. And so if you're willing to do a thing, I tell this to everybody, make sure you can own whatever comes after that. So we'll lock in another time. I can go deeper, but that's a little, what I saved for Saturday with all I had going on. So keep tapping in, run with your girl, and I hope you have a great day. Move your body, The gym is therapy. Out the side, go ground yourself. All right. Gang, gang, y'all.